7 outlets covered the South Carolina Supreme Court's decision to overturn Alex Murdaugh's murder convictions on Wednesday. 6 of them led with the legal mechanism. One of them, PBS NewsHour, opened its lead with this sentence: Murdaugh admits to being a thief, liar, insurance cheat, and bad lawyer, but has adamantly denied killing his wife Maggie and younger son Paul. Same court ruling, same defendant. One outlet decided to remind the reader who this man is before describing what the court ruled. This is AI Command App Media Lens. Here is what happened. On Wednesday, the South Carolina Supreme Court overturned the 2023 murder convictions of Alex Murdaugh, the disgraced former attorney who was serving 2 life sentences for the killings of his wife Maggie and his younger son Paul in 2021. The court cited improper external influences on the jury by a court clerk during the original trial. Murdaugh has been granted a new trial. He remains in prison on separate financial fraud convictions. 6 outlets in our brief covered this ruling. They split into 3 distinct framings. Let me show you. ABC News took the bare wire service approach. Their headline: Alex Murdaugh murder conviction overturned by South Carolina Supreme Court. Their first sentence simply restated the headline. No context, no editorial direction, just the fact. The Guardian US and the New York Times grouped together on a second framing: the legal mechanism. The Guardian led with this: justices said decision was due to improper external influences on the jury by a court clerk during the trial. The Times wrote that the decision upends one of America's highest-profile homicide cases and cited jury interference by a court clerk. Both outlets put the legal reason in paragraph 1. Why was the conviction overturned? The clerk, the jury, the mechanism. The Wall Street Journal and The Hill went procedural. The Journal's headline: Alex Murdaugh granted new trial for murder of wife and son. That phrasing, granted, frames the ruling as something Murdaugh received rather than something the court did. The Hill's headline carried both elements: murder convictions overturned, appeal for new trial granted. 2 procedural verbs back to back. NPR took a fourth approach: the explainer pivot. Their headline: Alex Murdaugh will get a new murder trial. Here's a timeline of his case. NPR was already thinking about the reader who needs to be caught up. The ruling was the hook. The history was the article. And then there is PBS NewsHour. PBS did not lead with the mechanism. PBS did not lead with a procedure. PBS did not lead with a timeline. PBS led with this line: the ruling is a win for Murdaugh, who admits to being a thief, liar, insurance cheat, and bad lawyer, but has adamantly denied killing his wife Maggie and younger son Paul. Read that sentence again. Thief, liar, insurance cheat, and bad lawyer. That is character framing. Before PBS tells you what the court did, PBS tells you who the defendant is. Before the reader can form a clean view of the legal merits of the appeal, the reader has already been handed a 4-word verdict on the man at the center of the case. Is that biased? Or is it context the other outlets buried? Both, depending on how you read it. Murdaugh did plead guilty to those financial crimes. Those are facts. PBS did not invent them. But the choice to put them in paragraph 1, when ABC, The Guardian, The Times, The Journal, The Hill, and NPR all chose to lead with the court's reasoning instead, is a choice. And that choice steers the reader. An outlet that opens with improper external influences on the jury is asking the reader to focus on whether the original trial was fair. An outlet that opens with thief, liar, insurance cheat is asking the reader to focus on whether the defendant deserves another shot. Same ruling, different question in the reader's head before they finish paragraph 1. No outlet here was lying. No outlet was wrong. But 6 readers who picked 6 different outlets walked away thinking about 6 slightly different things. That's today's Media Lens. We do this every single day. Same stories, different lenses. Subscribe and hit the bell. See you tomorrow.